Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Jill Valley.
And I'm Dennis Bragg. A fairly quiet week weather-wise in western Montana, but a new system coming through may bring rain and snow for the weekend, especially in the northern corner of the state.
For more, let's toss it over to meteorologist Russ Thomas with a look at his first forecast. Russ.
Yeah, you guys have that right, Beck. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect for much of western Montana right now, but it's not for snow, as you might suspect would be the case this time of year. It's actually for freezing rain, something that I think a lot of the valley is going to be dealing with both tonight and early tomorrow. Missoula, Bitterroot, Flathead, and Mission Valleys all included in this. Freezing rain, again, we talk about the idea that we've got this warm air aloft falling, the rain falling into that very cold, shallow pool of air in the valleys. Slick roads, sidewalks, bridges, parking lots, driveways, you name it. We'll have more coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, so more than ever, you're going to want to keep your eyes on the changing conditions in western Montana. You just need a mobile device and download the KPAX Storm Tracker weather app. That way you can get on-the-go forecasts from our Storm Tracker weather team. It is free in your app store. The Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribe elects a new chairman to their tribal council. Ron Trahan, who served on the council for 14 years, was elected today. He served as chairman once before, back in 2014. Vernon Finley was the previous chairman. Trahan grew up in St. Ignatius, served in the U.S. Army, worked with Tribal Health, the Salish Kootenai Housing Authority, and Kicking Horse Job Corps before joining the council. The Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribal Council members serve 4-year terms. Every 2 years, 5 are up for re-election.
Senator Jon Tester gets some tough questions today as his Montennial tour continues, but they didn't come from the media, but from Kalispell students.
MDN's Jack Ginsburg shows us what he learned from those students.
Senator Jon Tester was at Glacier High School in Kalispell Friday morning to talk to students from Glacier, Whitefish, Columbia Falls, Flathead, and Stillwater Christian School. After a brief introduction and background of himself, the senator answered questions ranging from net neutrality and the new tax bill to same-sex marriage and the state of the North Korea situation.
They were asking questions that were pretty in-depth. They'd done their homework, and I think that's encouraging, and I think that I think it's positive for the country. They're so much further advanced than we give them credit for that I always tell them I long for when they take over running this country, because they're gonna fix the stuff that we're screwing up.
One of those students, Erica Bragg, says she was impressed by the questions asked by her fellow students, but was even more satisfied with the way the senator answered them.
We asked him hard questions and he answered them so honestly and truthfully that it was really respectable, because he gave us the truth and how he felt and didn't sugarcoat it because of our age or because of maybe our views.
While Tester was fascinated with the students here in the Flathead, he says he has been impressed with kids across the entire state of Montana.
I would love to tell you that the Glacier is the exception and not the rule, but I've been all over the state talking to kids in AA schools, A schools, B schools, C schools, and it's pretty much the same everywhere. These guys are engaged, they know what's going on, they're far more savvy than we give them credit for.
Tester was asked a lot of questions about his personal opinions and what he would do to certain policy if he could change them. Bragg says she was happy to hear that he understands not everyone agrees, and in her opinion is what makes him an ideal representative for Montana.
He understands that everyone believes something different and that he's just going on his morals. And so I think that he's a great representative of Montana.
Jack Ginsburg, MTN News, Kalispell.
You can find future dates for the rest of Tester's tour on our website, kpax.com.
Overall graduation and completion rates are up in Montana. The ACT results are in. Dropout rates are stagnant compared to last year, according to new numbers released by the superintendent's office. According to the report, graduation rates were up about 2%. There was a larger increase in Montana's completion rate. That's the number of kids that actually finish all 12 years of school. It was up almost a full percentage point. But Montana's dropout rate is really unchanged, just over 2%. Superintendent Elsie Arnson says the gains may not seem like much, but they are pleased with the jumps and hope to build on that this year.
Part of my job then is going to be expanding that completion rate even more so, to acknowledge the fact that students do go out into the workforce, that they do accomplish school, and it might be in a different time frame because we all learn differently.
Arnson will be in Kalispell next week to talk to school leaders and students at the annual Montana Contractors Association meeting. Well, it's happened again. A Missoula convenience store is looking for its signature baby Dino after thieves made off the iconic statue during a stormy power outage last week. Managers of the noon Sinclair at the corner of East Broadway and Madison say the 3-foot-tall Sinclair Dino vanished sometime after midnight Friday when the winter storm knocked out power to that part of Missoula, leaving the store in the dark. The dinosaur, which has been the symbol of Sinclair gas for over the past century, is smaller than some. It's made of aluminum, but is still Kelly green in color, about 6 feet from nose to tail. Missoula police are investigating, and Noons is offering a reward for the dino's safe return. You'll probably remember 5 years ago, a larger Sinclair Dino statue was stolen from the Noons outlet at the Y west of Missoula. That fiberglass dinosaur was recovered later, but thieves had decapitated the marketing critter.
Hundreds of dancers are descending on Missoula next week for a competition that brings them from all over the world. One young ballerina from Ecuador received a scholarship to come to Montana for the first time.
I hope to take away every single correction and opportunity that they gave me here to Ecuador to do a better dancing and find a career.
She will be performing 3 ballet pieces next week in both contemporary and classical styles. But it's more than just a competition. Ballet Beyond Borders is also considered by its directors to be a humanitarian effort. It explores how dance and diplomacy combined. This event was previously called the Vienna International Ballet Experience. 2018 will mark 20 years of Rocky Mountain Ballet Theater in Missoula, the organization that puts on this event. And organizers say you don't need to be a dance expert to appreciate these performances.
So you don't need a skill set to come into the theater. I mean, and that's part of the Ballet Beyond Borders experience. It should touch you. You're going to have favorites. Maybe it's a body type, maybe it's the music, maybe it's the choreography, maybe it's all of the above. But you should be leaving with an experience that's going to stay with you.
Now, all but 2 of the events are free because of sponsor support, but you do need tickets to see the wife of singer Gene Kelly. She'll be sharing personal stories about his life. That's going to open up the event on Tuesday. There's also the Saturday Gala. That needs a ticket too, and they're available, and you can find more information on our website.
Salute the Badge is brought to you by Montana Railing, supporting the Main Street of Montana for 30 years.
For Missoula firefighters, being prepared is not only part of the job, it's part of life, and that's especially true when it comes to the unusual rescue situations that can crop up in a mountain city like ours. But these trained experts tell me their job can be made less hazardous if people enjoying the mountains will also do their best to be prepared, even more so in the winter months. Firefighters today are called upon to do much more than extinguish fires and help you with medical emergencies. That's very true here in Missoula, where they're often called to perform mountain and river rescues. And because each scenario presents its own challenges and hazards, preparation is key.
Absolutely, and that's what the training is for us today, for the fire department team members. We're being trained, we're given scenarios by every backcountry medicine, and we're the ones who are learning today. And part of that is our own gear, our own preparedness, and then dealing with the patient. So that adds a whole nother level when you have somebody else that you need to take care of.
Johnson says the biggest variable is changing weather conditions and bikers, hikers, and others not being ready for Montana's wild swings in temperature.
But that's where people get caught. You know, you head out on a day like today, you go up the Rattlesnake, you're just going to go mountain biking for a few hours. Weather changes, you get hurt, you have a mechanical failure, and now potentially you're spending the night out, which can lead to a rescue situation.
For the firefighters and for the well-prepared recreationists, the objectives are the same. Check and recheck gear, have adequate food and water, and most of all, tell someone about your plans and stick with them.
Let people know where you're going, and like you said, more often than not, these days we rely too much on technology, and in addition to my GPS, I carry an old-fashioned compass, you know. Batteries don't go dead on those.
For Johnson, making sure MFD crews are briefed and ready to go, dealing with a variety of situations that can develop, are what makes a career as a firefighter such an interesting job. But he hopes their example can be followed by people enjoying their time off, too.
So hopefully I'm prepared, we're prepared, and we're able to assess, treat, stabilize that patient, and have a positive outcome at the end of the day. And that's a big part of what the training is today for the Missoula Fire Department.
If you'd like to learn more about backcountry safety, you can contact the Missoula Fire Department anytime, but we also have a link to area backcountry medicine on our website.
One of Missoula's hospitals is gearing up to combat a killer. Heart attacks are still one of the main causes of death for people in this country. Community Medical Center hosted training for its emergency response staff to help improve the process when dealing with that emergency.
After today, I think there will be better communication between hopefully between the patient and EMS, and therefore EMS to both the ERs and the cath lab, so that that patient has a better outcome.
CMC's new cardiologist, local EMS, the emergency department, and the cath lab staff all participated in the simulation today. During the training, they went step by step from the moment they received the call to the moment that patient would have been taken to the cath lab. After the patient was taken care of, the staff then had a meeting to talk about areas they could improve. They stressed the importance of calling 911 and letting them transport you to the hospital themselves. They also say there are steps you can take before the EMS arrives.
One of the best things you can do for yourself is to give yourself aspirin as long as you don't have an allergy to it or your doctor's instructions you not to take it.
Symptoms of a heart attack can often be subtle. Nausea, sweating, and shortness of breath are just a few of the symptoms. We'll have more on the story coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. Well, still ahead, people around the country are buying up tickets with hopes of winning the Powerball or even the Mega Millions. But what are your odds? Find out next here on KPAX.